This week, we talk about the latest rumors and news about Spider-Man and Avengers Doomsday. We talk about that crazy plot twist in the latest episode of Peacemaker Season 2. We talk about some plot details for the new Star Wars Starfighter movie, and a whole lot more. Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse.
Warning.
Red alert.
Ay, 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 ay!
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
That's the emergency alert. This episode is full of spoilers for some of the latest and greatest nerdy movies and shows.
Spoilers.
Listener discretion is advised.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse podcast. I'm Billy Taylor.
And I'm Taylor Oxner.
And this week we're back to talk about all the fun stuff happening out there in the pop culture universe. But before we jump into any of that, Taylor, what have you been nerding out about this week, man?
Nerding out this week. One of my favorite bands, Newfound Glory, released 2 singles in the last week, and I've been listening to those pretty heavily. But also one of my favorite rappers, who's like a spooky rapper, like it's like horrorcore themed, so it's like hip hop for people who like horror genre.
Oh,
If
nice.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, that would have been like ICP.
Yeah.
Okay, so like this is like the newer version. His name's Ouija Mac, and he released a new record, and I've been listening to that pretty much nonstop too. So also watched the movie The Dead Zone last night. Have you ever seen it with Christopher Walken?
Oh, yeah, a long time ago.
Stephen King. It was pretty okay. Watched that. I enjoyed myself.
Did you ever watch the series they made of that maybe 20 years ago, 15 years ago, something like that? I think
No.
it might have been on USA. Maybe I'm getting the channel wrong, but I remember watching that show and really enjoying it.
I mean, if it's like just the movie, but like extended, I could see how that would be pretty good. But were there multiple of those movies?
I only remember the one Christopher Walken movie and then eventually the series that came out.
Uh-huh. There was a series that came out in 2002 with Anthony Michael Hall. Is that the one you remember?
Yeah, and he was
Yeah.
a teacher and he woke up out of a coma
Yeah.
and had
Yeah,
powers.
it's basically the movie, but like longer. And my guess it's like more book oriented. But it got a 7.3, so that's good.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I feel like the show went maybe 5 or 6 seasons, if I remember correctly.
But from 2002 to 2007, so yeah.
And I don't remember if it got properly ended or canceled, but I just remember really liking it.
Yeah, it made 81 episodes of 6 seasons.
Okay.
So my guess is they took the idea of the guy had a coma, he got out, and then when he touched people, he sees how people are dying around them or whatever. And then they probably just made each episode about a different person.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. They had a different person of the week that he dealt with.
Yeah, it was very much like Freak of the Week.
Yep. Well, cool. That's pretty good to nerd out about. I haven't thought about that show in a long time, and I know I haven't watched that movie since high school, probably.
Yeah, well, we're on, so I do my weekly movie night, and so it's this month, of course, it's all spooky stuff, so
Nice.
spooky or creepy. So that was in like a Stephen King collection that I got. Came with like Pet Cemetery and Night Drive and a handful of other ones.
Yeah.
I can't think of what they are right now.
Well, cool.
Graveyard Shift is one of them. I know that.
Yeah, I wonder, speaking of Stephen King, I wonder how long until we get this long anticipated Dark Tower series or movies or whatever they're going to do with it. I really like those books, so that's something of his I really hope they do and do well, because they did that movie a little while back, but it wasn't great, and it wasn't awful, but it wasn't the books, and it got really poor fan reception, and so they just kind of quit. But it feels like in the past we've read that they're going to be bringing it back at some point, and I hope they do, because those are such good books.
Yeah, I feel like Dark Tower is one of those things that's like you either have to do it all out or just not do it.
Yeah, and that's where they kind of messed up a little while back, because it was not all out.
For sure.
Well, hey, this week I'm kind of nerding out a little bit about music as well. My daughter I got to take her to her first concert this week, and she loves this guy, Conan Gray. He sings a lot of, typical, I don't know if I want to call it pop, maybe pop, but it's not your typical pop music. The songs are really deep and touching. And anyway, she's loved this guy for years, and he's mostly done European tours. And back in May, around her birthday, she let us know that he's actually coming to not only the United States, but Kansas City. And so we were able to get her a couple of tickets, and I took her to this concert, and it was such a good time. And his opening act was a girl called Hemlock Springs, and I've never heard of her, but I freaking fell in love with the music right away, so I've kind of been playing it nonstop since then. The whole long drive home all this morning. So yeah, look her up, Hemlock Springs. She's really cool. And anyway, my kid had a blast, and that's not the kind of stuff I got to do growing up. My parents we were pretty poor, but on top of that, let's just say priorities weren't straight. So the idea of getting to do something like that when I was a kid never would have really happened. So I don't know. I was having a few moments of the tears coming in the eyes, just seeing my kids so happy and just seeing how great my kids get to have it. And it just made me real happy. And anyway, nerding out about music and dad stuff, I guess, this week.
Right on. Is that her like first concert?
That's her first concert. Yep.
Wow.
And not only was her first concert a good one, it was her literal favorite singer. And we kind of went all out, and our tickets were, gosh, not cheap. We were
Understandable.
when I went to buy the tickets, they were the closest tickets available. So we were about 15 rows in, so pretty darn close to the stage as concerts go. And
What location were you at?
it was Starlight Theater in Kansas
Starlight.
City.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Which I've been there before for a musical, but I've never been there for a concert. And it was
That's
a
pretty
really cool,
cool.
yeah, it was a cool venue. And the night was beautiful. I think the weather was in the low 70s, no rain, nothing like that. So it was just perfect.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, hey, let's go ahead and start talking about some news for the week. Over with Marvel, last week they released all 4 episodes of Marvel Zombies, and I believe I've had a chance to watch all of it, and you're around the second episode. Is that what you said earlier?
Yeah, I'm like halfway through.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was kind of cool to see twists on these characters, versions of them we haven't seen before. And then some characters we know exist in the MCU, but we haven't seen them at all. So that was kind of cool. Yeah, I think I'll wait to give my full perspective until you've seen the whole thing. Maybe next week we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, so far we saw Blade for the first time, like as
Yes.
like an active character, which I thought was cool. I was just kind of bummed that the first time we saw him, he was all conchued up and not like just
Right.
normal Blade, which is it's a minor gripe, I guess. But I mean, I still got to see that really cool sword fight with him and Ghost,
Oh, yeah, that was so cool.
which was way cool. Yeah, I'm excited to finish it. It's very like easily digestible and just enough spooky.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
One of my favorite moments down the road that you'll see eventually is it has to do with Blade and Khonshu, and again, we'll talk about it when you get there.
Okay, cool.
Well, let's see. We know there's lots of talk happening about Avengers Doomsday and Spider-Man Brand New Day and all this stuff. Some of the latest talk about Avengers Doomsday is that Doctor Doom is going to have a team in this movie, and reportedly his team is going to include Maestro, Null, Mephisto, King Thanos, the Maker, Captain Hydra, and an evil version of Black Widow. And what I read didn't make it sound like we're going to see tons and tons and tons of these characters, but they're going to be helping him pull some of his strings when we get the movie. But anyway, yeah, that sounds pretty interesting to know that we might be seeing some of those characters.
No,
Yeah.
that's wild.
And this wasn't anything confirmed. It was just from a source that usually says stuff that eventually happens. But yeah, that'll be kind of crazy to see if they start tying some of those guys in, and especially like you said, Null.
Well, it's such a Venom-centric character to
Oh, I
not have
know.
Venom in, which makes me believe that he will be part of it.
Oh, I know. Especially with this new Spider-Man movie coming up, the amount of times they've kind of teased the black suit and then eventually Venom. Maybe we'll get some Venom action before that movie gets around.
Do you think it'll be in between?
It could be. Okay, Brand New Day is July 2026, and Doomsday is December 2026. So yeah, we're getting Spider-Man first. So yeah, what if we do get some of that symbiote black suit action, and then that does lead into some stuff like Null and Venom and all that being included?
Hmm.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. It's kind of funny though if the first interaction we get of that is right before they do a big reboot of the whole franchise.
Yeah, I'm wondering how hard of a reboot it's going to be.
It's funny you bringing that up. It sounds like Kevin Feige was just recently in some kind of an interview, and they were talking about how post Secret Wars, the MCU will reportedly involve the resurrection of some heroes and villains, but it's also going to erase some of the minor events that people have been frustrated with, including Kevin Feige. So maybe it won't be that big of a reboot, but a soft reboot that kind of fixes some continuity things.
Okay, sure.
Some more Spider-Man stuff. These are some announcements, so not rumors, but it sounds like Robert Pattinson is going to be in the next Spider-Man movie, and he's going to be playing MJ, Zendaya's character's boyfriend. So,
Oh,
yeah, I wonder if they're going to, introduce a comic accurate Mary Jane at all.
that's what I had heard, that was the case, because this MJ isn't actually MJ.
That would make sense. Now, they did also announce that Gwen Stacy will be in this movie, and she's going to be played by the actress Emma Myers, who played the character Enid on the Wednesday Netflix series. Which, funny enough, that girl looks like Gwen Stacy, so I can totally see it.
Oh, right on. That's actually pretty exciting.
Yeah, and it will be funny if, with the whole Andrew Garfield influence and knowing what happened to his Gwen, maybe we'll get to forego that whole Gwen Stacy tragedy in the MCU.
Yep,
It'd be kind of cool if they build her up and she sort of becomes, Spider Gwen like in the comics. That'd be kind of neat.
it would be neat.
Speaking of, Gwen Stacy and Spider Man stuff, it sounds like Beyond the Spider Verse has had yet another time change for when it's going to release. Except
Ugh.
this time it's not moving forward though; it moved back a little bit. The
Oh,
latest move was to, I believe, December 2027, but now they've moved it back to June 2027. So that's still a long ways off, but they put it 6 months closer, so I guess that's better than nothing.
that's crazy. I'm wondering why they probably want to get it done before the reboot, huh?
That would be my guess. But also knowing that the whole multiverse thing, it'd be kind of interesting if it somehow ties in to the MCU somehow or another, even though it's animated.
What if something with Doom is the reason the whole Spot thing just stops?
Yeah, that would be kind of cool, actually. And we've already seen ties to the MCU when they had that live action Prowler trapped in that little containment area.
Yeah.
Last week, Marvel Studios met with director Sam Raimi about a project, and the only information that's come out is that it is not for a new Doctor Strange movie. So that wouldn't it be
Oh.
crazy if they were meeting with him to do another, Toby Spider-Man movie?
Yeah, but I'm totally over that. I just feel like it's like a pool. I just want to keep going back to it. It's like, yes, let's just keep going.
Yeah. But I do wonder what they met about.
Yeah, I'm wondering too. I wonder if it's like, hey, you want to do another quirky character movie?
That's probably what it is. Like, hey, we haven't done XYZ yet. You want to help?
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think Sam Raimi characters, not Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Maybe a Moon Knight or a Blade, Midnight Suns situation.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, what if it's Ghost Rider?
That would be really cool too.
Yeah. Well, with some Marvel TV stuff, the guy in charge of Marvel TV, his name's Brad Wenderbaum. He says that the animated stuff that we've been enjoying, X-Men 97 and Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, the newest seasons are about to come out soon. And moving forward, they are definitely going to be released annually for the foreseeable future. So that was just
Okay.
a good little confirmation there.
Yeah, I need those shows back.
I know. The actor Ross Marquand, who was the voice of Professor Xavier in X-Men 97, he said that if you thought season one was dark, season two is going to be so, so, so dark and even more sad than season one was.
What?
So that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
And we've talked a little bit in the past about how the summer 2027 Marvel slot had this mystery movie that they have not announced what it's going to be. Well, yesterday, Disney announced that they've removed the mystery Marvel movie from the slot and they have replaced it with The Simpsons movie 2. So I guess there's going to be another Simpsons movie and one less Marvel movie coming up.
Weird.
And it's kind of weird.
I wonder if they're just going to move it to a different date.
Yeah, hopefully. The final Marvel thing, we know that there's a Nova project coming and a Strange Academy project coming, but it sounds like those projects and a couple of more are now on pause. They're not canceled or anything like that, but Disney has paused these projects. So that kind of stinks, and I wonder why.
Yeah. Wonder if everything's just waiting for Doomsday to come out.
Probably. Like, hey, let's make this soft reboot before we introduce more characters that we haven't done before.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, over with DC, we know that very recently Superman was released on HBO Max. It's only been out 10 days, and in its first 10 days, it already received over 13 million streams. And they said that was the biggest amount since the Barbie movie. The Barbie
Oh
movie
wow,
broke that record real fast, and then Superman broke it already.
that's awesome.
That is cool. And it's funny, speaking of Superman, I know last week we kind of mentioned how James Gunn rushed to get Superman on streaming. And he said it has to do with wanting people to see it before Peacemaker season 2. And after last week's episode of Peacemaker season 2, there's no surprise that he wanted people to see that movie because it was heavily connected to the greater DC universe. And I guess we can just go ahead and talk a little bit about it. We won't talk too much, but spoiler warning ahead. Taylor hasn't quite seen it, and I have seen it, so we'll get maybe a little bit deeper in the future. But I just want to mention that that huge plot twist in the recent episode was so crazy. You find out that Peacemaker, he's decided to leave his life behind and go live in this, quote unquote perfect universe. And his friends are not having anything to do with that, so they figure out, they crack the code how to open up the portal and go through it. And long story short, you find out this whole time that that was Earth X, which is a universe where the Nazis won World War II, and it just gets a little crazy. And I cannot wait to see how they deal with that next week. And a couple of things coming out of that huge cameo reveal in this movie. Rick Flag went to Lex Luthor from the recent Superman movie to find some kind of portal tracker. So it was crazy seeing him in the episode. It was really cool. And we know that's going to have some kind of consequences down the road. But also, I'm excited to see if in this next episode, I believe next week's the finale. So in this next episode, are we going to get to see Superman and all that? But also, I'm anxious to see about how they resolve all the things going down in this crazy Earth X situation. And a little bit related to that, James Gunn was in an interview and someone asked him, are we going to get to see a live action GI robot? And long story short, his answer was, long story short, yes. And that's all he said. So I hope that happens soon. Can you imagine GI Robot just being unleashed in a universe filled with Nazis? Like,
Yeah, that'd be amazing
yeah, the show is so good. I can't wait to see where they go with it. And I'm super excited for you to see these episodes as well. And we can talk a little bit deeper about it.
for sure.
Oh, you know how in the past there was talks about an Authority movie, but that also sounds like that is no longer happening.
Oh, okay.
The talks said maybe these characters will still show up in projects, but not necessarily in their own thing. But yeah, that's, I guess, not happening anymore.
Oh, that's a bummer. I
Yeah.
like Midnighter.
Yep. My final thing with DC this week, for fans of the Young Justice series, which my hands in the air raised right now because I'm one of those fans. That show was so cool. It sounds like that show is coming back, which makes me super happy.
Dang.
And they're even bringing along more characters that we didn't see in the previous episodes. So yeah, I'm real excited about that. That show was so good.
Yeah, Young Justice. I
Yep.
remember when I was watching it episodically on TV.
Yeah, so fun. Well, over with Star Wars, that Star Wars Starfighter movie, we've got a little bit of news about it. So far, all we really know is Ryan Gosling's in it and there's a kid in it, but they just released some news about it. So this movie is going to take place 5 years after the Rise of Skywalker movie. And there's this kid, the main character is this kid who you find out is force sensitive. And his mom is played by Amy Adams. And I guess she's a former Jedi in this movie. And she's playing a character that's helping the kid escape some bad guys. And all we really know is Ryan Gosling is on some mission to help protect the kid based on what the mom wants him to do or something like that. But anyway, another cool grown up helping a kid survive story from Star Wars.
Cool.
A few other things out there in the pop culture universe. It sounds like the classic story, Charlotte's Web, is getting this 3-part CGI animated special thing that's coming to HBO Max. Actually, this coming weekend. All 3 parts are coming out at once. I saw a trailer for it, and it definitely looked like something my kids will probably like. Oh, and the live action Masters of the Universe movie is nearly wrapped up, and it sounds like a trailer for that is finally coming soon. They didn't say when, but soon is what they said.
I'm excited for that.
Oh, me too.
I don't know why,
Yeah,
but I am.
we've only seen little glimpses of images, and the little bit we've seen has made me excited. So yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm also excited for that Street Fighter movie that's coming out.
Oh, I know. It's like they're taking some very nostalgic stuff and just improving upon it lately.
Well, it's like, have you seen the cast where it's ridiculous?
Oh, I
It's
know,
like, well, the good portion of them are wrestlers.
right?
There's also comedians, and it's just, it looks insane. A couple rappers. It just looks nuts. Like, it doesn't look like, hey, we're trying to make a good movie. It looks like they're just trying to make something that's insane.
Yeah. And you got this whole pool full of people who, call it fake or whatever you want to call it. These people who fight for a living. Why wouldn't you pull from those guys?
Yeah, exactly. And then they also have people like, oh man, what's his name? Played Aquaman.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, Jason Momoa. Goodness, I could not remember his name for a second. He's going to be in it too as Blanca.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you
Yep.
know how
Right.
crazy that is?
Yes. That's almost as perfect as him being Lobo.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing.
I can't wait for that. Oh, speaking of all this nostalgic stuff, we know that Spaceballs 2 is coming, and this past week they released the first behind the scenes picture, and it's the cast doing a table read. They're like sitting around this area, and I don't know about you, man, but it was just really cool and heartwarming to see Rick Moranis doing something again. I love that dude so much.
Yeah, that's cool.
The last thing I have here from that stuff is Denis Villeneuve, who is now in charge of the James Bond franchise. People have been speculating who's going to be James Bond, and they've got all these names, in the hat. But he announced that he is 100% picking an unknown. He wants this unknown to be James Bond, not, seeing so and so play James Bond. He wants us to see this guy and think, oh, that is James Bond. So he's picking a completely unknown actor to take over the franchise. So I think that's kind of cool and kind of a smart move.
Yeah, for sure it is.
I know you usually bring on the wrestling facts, but I have a couple things I wanted to mention that go with these movies. Did you
Okay.
see that the former WWE superstar Braun Strowman is in talks to play the next Jason Voorhees?
No.
That's kind of
But
cool.
that's amazing. Braun Strowman is a literal giant of a person. He's close to 7 foot.
Yeah, when I saw him, I thought, of course, it's going to be this guy. Why wouldn't it be this guy?
Yeah, he just got released from WWE within the last 5-ish months. He was before he was in WWE, he was in those strongman competitions. Like the people who like drag planes and stuff like
Right.
that. He was one of those guys before that. So, I mean, he's definitely a legend, but just because of his absolute size and strength.
Right. I also saw that WWE superstar Drew McIntyre is going to be playing Henry Cavill's brother in the new Highlander reboot.
Yeah, that'll be crazy too. A Scottish guy. He's a wrestler. He's ginormous. I mean, if you see a picture of him, you'll be like, "Oh God!"
Right.
And he plays a really good bad guy.
Uh-huh.
Usually, so I don't know what they're gonna do with the brother situation there, but usually Drew's a pretty good bad guy.
Nice. Before I move on from that, do you have any wrestling things this week too?
I do.
Let's hear it.
All right. So this last weekend or the weekend before last was WrestlePalooza. We didn't talk about it just because I hadn't had a chance to like, sit down and watch the PLE. But the winners of the 2025 WWE WrestlePalooza event were Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed, and Stephanie Vaquer, who became Women's World Champion in lieu of Naomi relinquishing her belt because she was pregnant. So congratulations again to her. And then the team of CM Punk and AJ Lee, they were like the tag team. They did a couples tag team versus Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, and they won that as well. John Cena lost to Brock Lesnar. That was a pretty big upset. That fight was a massacre. I don't know what they're doing with that storyline because they haven't brought up Brock Lesnar again, but maybe they're going to do something with War Games in the future. Also, during the show, Stephanie McMahon got her first inductee into the 2026 Hall of Fame class, which was pretty cool. Let's see what else. Okay, I have Crown Jewel coming up on the 10th. So that's in Perth. And it's basically what they do is they get the guy, the world heavyweight champion, and then the world champion, and then they have them battle for the crown jewel belt and a ring that you get to keep. So it basically is like, hey, this person's the best person we have, the crown jewel. And they do that for the women's and the men's. And that's coming up. It'll be a PLE. It'll be the second PLE that was been on ESPN network. So that was cool. Looks like they have a lot of money to spend now, well, even more than they had before. So hopefully that means better quality, if nothing else, because I'm now paying $30 more a month. So it
Yeah.
better be.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But yeah, that's wrestling right now.
Sweet. And then, is there any new video game news this week?
Silk Song came out, the second Hollow Knight.
Oh, yeah. Have you been
That's like
enjoying that?
I haven't gotten it yet. It's
Oh,
driving me
okay.
crazy.
Yeah,
I keep wanting to sit down and just because it's not expensive. It's like $20. So it's but it's been one of those kind of couple of weeks where it's like, do I want to spend money on this or not? I'm
yeah.
kind of busy. So anyway, yeah.
It's funny. Have you ever played the Borderlands games?
I have not. I've been told that I would like them, but I never have. I knew the new one came out and I heard people are liking it a lot.
So I had never played them before, but this summer we visited my brother and sister-in-law who live in New Mexico, and my brother-in-law plays tons of video games, and he put it in two-player mode. I don't remember which one it was. It was one of the Borderlands games and one of the newer ones. Again, I don't remember which one, but it was fun. We played it a couple times, and anyway, we were at Walmart this past weekend, and they had for Nintendo Switch Borderlands 3 for only $10. So I grabbed it.
Okay.
I haven't even cracked it open, and I told myself I probably won't have time to crack it open for some time, but for $10, I didn't want him to run out and miss that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, if you enjoyed it, why not? $10.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
So that'll be fun at some point when I have a little extra time, which could be forever, to try that out. But yeah. Didn't they just make a movie of that? Of Borderlands?
Yeah, yeah, it did very, very badly.
That's what I heard. It had this very star-studded all-star cast, and then it completely bombed.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think that that was the intention of
Oh, not
that.
at all.
I mean, to the point where I didn't even hear about the movie when it came out. Like I had seen a trailer for it. I felt like 6 months prior, maybe,
Yeah.
and I had forgotten about it. And then was like, oh yeah, the movie came to theaters and left. I didn't even see it.
Yeah.
Like it was such a fast blip. I was like, it must have been so bad.
It's funny because having never played it and hearing about how badly it bombed, I've had zero desire to watch it. But having played it with my brother-in-law and also knowing the amount of stars that are in this movie, my curiosity has peaked a little bit to want to see this movie. Maybe
Yeah.
it's a morbid curiosity.
Hey, I mean, there's lots of things I do because I have a morbid
Yeah.
curiosity. I mean, I listened to the new Machine Gun Kelly record because I had a
Yeah.
morbid curiosity.
Yep. That's funny. Well, hey guys, that is about all the news for this week. So hopefully we've gave you something to think about to go look up and watch and read and all that. But as for us here at the Taylorverse, I've been Billy Taylor.
I'm Taylor Oxner.
And come back next week, guys. Same Taylor channel, same Taylor time.
Bye.
Bye.